Hello, I'm Jan Falconer, and welcome to Not-Netflix Natters, a place where stories, family, and everyday life gives us something to think about. Let's begin. Hi, this is Not-Netflix Natters, Series 4, Episode 5, Shared Experiences, Shared Memories. Hi, I'm Jan Falconer. I'm a children's author, consultant, grandmother, and this is Not-Netflix Natters. One of the heaviest pieces of furniture in our house when I was growing up wasn't the television. It was the radiogram. It filled our home with far more than music. We listened to the radio together, hurried home for the next episode of a favourite serial, and laughed at comedy records. I can still remember Jerry Lewis telling stories and songs by Lulu drifting through the house. Songs and music are just as important. My mother was a magnificent pianist, and my dad just loved to play the guitar. Before long, someone would start singing. Everyone else was joining in, and nobody worried about whether their voice was any good, because the funny thing was, they all had lovely voices. Nobody was performing. We were just simply enjoying ourselves. As I look back now, I realize we weren't just entertaining ourselves. We were spending time together. The activities may have changed over the years, but I don't think the idea has. These days, when my grandchildren come to stay, I sometimes get out the ukulele and we'll sing together in the sitting room or even in the car. My granddaughter has discovered Doris Day's Perhaps. It's hardly the sort of music children are expected to choose nowadays, but she absolutely loves it. Before long, we're all singing along together and doing a little cha-cha-cha as we go. Stories are part of that as well. Some of my favourite children's stories are the Ben Miller books. He's written them, some of them, as diaries. Some entries are only like a page or two long. Some are just a few words. Others go a little bit further. They are just a wonderful habit of making you think. Well, just read one more, of course. One more has a habit of becoming another. One evening, we became so caught up in a story that it was my daughter-in-law who finally smiled and said, "I think you've read enough." She was probably right. Now, when I'm looking after my grandchildren in their own home, Mum and Dad's rules are Mum and Dad's rules. If it's a school night, bedtime is bedtime. Their routine absolutely matters, and I see my role as supporting my grandchildren's parents. Holidays, though, holidays are a little different. If there isn't school the next morning, there's sometimes room for just one more chapter. What I've noticed over the years is that children don't always remember every detail of a story. What they remember are moments around it. A character called Wendoline suddenly somehow becomes Windowline in our family. Now, in the UK, Windowline is a window cleaning product. So every time that name appears, we all laugh out loud. Story carries on, but the little joke became part of our own family's story. I noticed something similar at the cinema. When there was a scary moment, little faces would disappear behind my shoulder before quietly asking, "Can we look now?" Years from now, I doubt they'll remember every single scene, but I hope they'll remember how it felt to sit together. And the more I think about it, the more I realize this isn't really about books or movies or music or films or television. It's about shared experiences. I remember watching King Charles III's coronation back in May 2023. The streets were unusually quiet because people were inside watching together. Some gathered around their family. Some gathered around their televisions. Others stood in London to watch the procession. A friend of mine lived in London, and he watched the red arrows fly over his apartment, while I watched the same fly past on my television in Dumfries. Meanwhile, my grandchildren were dressed up as kings and queens. We all experienced the same event in different ways at exactly that same time. And afterwards, we all had something to talk about. The same thing happens every weekend at sporting events, concerts, school performances, village fetes. People gather, they laugh, they sing, they cheer, they share a moment that later becomes a memory. Technology has changed enormously during my lifetime. The radiogram became television. Television expanded into streaming. Records became playlists. Books became audiobooks. The way we experience stories, music, and entertainment will continue to evolve. I don't think that's the question we should be asking. Perhaps the more important question is this: what are we still choosing to experience together? Shared experiences have a remarkable way of becoming shared memories. They become the family stories we tell later, the songs we still sing, the jokes we still laugh about, the films we still quote, the books that always remind us of one particular holiday. Years from now, I don't imagine my grandchildren will remember every story that we read, every song that we sang, or every program that we watched. But I hope they still remember that we made time to enjoy them together. Perhaps that's what really matters. Not the medium, not the technology, but the people sitting beside us while life quietly unfolds. Just let me know in the comments, what are the things that you like to do together as a family? Or what shared moments do you recall from now or even your childhood? If you like this, please like or subscribe or do both. Until next time, take care. Thank you for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, visit my website and explore the books. Until next time, take care.